So we'll start our Bhagavatam class by chanting Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtang Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamacham Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurung Sri Juta Padakamalang Sri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Shakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Shadvaitam Shabadhutam Purijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Nitamscha वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिते नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतिशे नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायण नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अबद्धेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुर्लङ्घयिते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम् So today our topic of discussion is potency of bhakti in purifying motivations. So different people comes to bha- bhakti. uh, they take devotional service. They have different motivations. So ultimately, the power of bhakti, the potency of bhakti, purify all those motivations, different aspirations of the devotees, and ultimately stabilize that devotee into the pure devotional service. So today we'll discuss this topic in our lecture. So Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, approx 500 years ago at Prayag, now modern days in Allahabad, gave instructions to Rupa Goswami about the science of devotional service for 10 days. And after that, later on, Srila Rupa Goswami compiled those instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his classic book, that is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, where he describes the ideal bhakti, the pure devotional service. What should be the goal of bhakti or devotional service? So, by the sloka, we will start our session. अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यं ज्ञानकर्मादि अनावृतम् आनुकूल्येन कृष्णानुशीलनं भक्तिरुत्तमा. So this verse describes the first class devotional service. There are different levels of devotional service or bhakti. So among them, What are the features of the first class devotional service? Is saying that Anya Avilasha Shunya. The first class devotional service is without any material desire than those of satisfaction of Krishna. It is not covered with knowledge of philosophy of monistic Mayavadis. Uh, so it is not covered with monistic Mayavada philosophies. Karmadi, fruitive activities. Karma adi, fruitive activities and adi. Adi means all others, like artificially practicing detachment, mechanical practice of yoga, and studying different kinds of Sankhya philosophy. So, Jnana, Karma, Adi. Jnana means materialistic, impersonalistic, monistic philosophy, knowledge. Karmadi, karma means fruitive activity, and adi, all others, artificial detachment, mechanical practice of yoga, and studying different Shankha philosophies. The first class devotional service is devoid of all these things. Anukullena Krishnanu. Those activities or services which is favorable for cultivation our love for Krishna in relationship with Krishna. So that is called first class devotional service. And that should be the goal of bhakti, pure devotional service. Also in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 22 number slok, is saying that Yam labdha chapadam labham manyate nadikam tata yasmin stito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalayat. After gaining this pure devotional service, the devotee thinks that there is no other greater gain. Na lab, yam labtate chaparam labham. Mannate nadhikam tat. He thinks that there is no other greater gain from attaining this pure bhakti. And yasmin stito na dukkhena. Even in great difficulty, he is not bichalayat. He is not shaken. His devotional service does not second. And also, Srila Rupa Goswami has given six characteristics or goal of pure devotional service. What are those? Kleshagni Shubodha. The pure devotional service will give immediate relief from all kind of material distresses. Second, Moksha Lagukrit. It's beginning of all auspiciousness. It automatically puts one in the transcendental pleasure. One get immediate transcendental pleasure automatically, and it is very rarely to achieve. Sudurlabha, and it derived the conception of liberation. Even liberation it become very negligible in front of bhakti, and only means to attract Krishna. So these six characteristics or goal has been described by Rupa Goswami. It gives immediate relief from material distress. It is the beginning of all auspiciousness. It automatically puts one in transcendental pleasure. It is rarely achieved. It derived uh, the liberation, and it is the only means to attract Krishna. So this is the ideal goal of bhakti. Ideal goal. First, anything we do, we should know what should be our goal. Then we can start from a point. So bhakti means devotional service to whom? To the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. So there are different standard of this devotional service from 0 to 100. So what is the standard of pure devotion? It's very high level. It is love for the Lord. Just I am telling one story. You all know that Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami had a brother. His name was Anupam, later known as Vallabha. So one day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking with Sanatan Goswami. Chaitanya was saying that your brother Nupam is a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra, Lord Raghunath. Ah. So after the departure of Anupam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is discussing with Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan said, yes, Mahaprabhu, yes, my lord, this Anupam is from very childhood, Anupam from the very beginning of his childhood, he was attracted to Lord Ramachandra, Raghunath's pastimes. He chanted Lord's name, he meditated upon Raghunath. He was a great devotee of Raghunath. So one day we called him and we told him that, see, this Srimad Bhagavatam describes the pastimes, the nectarian, sweet pastime of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna's supremely attractive beauty. Mm. So, why do you not engage yourself with us in narrating the pastimes of Krishna so that we three brothers can stay together and drink the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam? So, the Sanatana Rupa Goswami was, spoke about Srimad Bhagavatam, about Krishna's pastime again and again. Mm. Then one day, this Anupam Vallabh told them that, oh, dear brothers, you are repeatedly speaking to me about to take, this Srimad Bhagavatam as the Samammunam and I should worship Lord Krishna. So please initiate me in Krishna mantra so that I can also practice devotional service or in the discussion with all of you. So after initiation, Anupama Ballam at night, whole night, he could not sleep. He cried and thinking, how shall I give up the lotus feet of Lord Raghunath? He cried like the whole night and morning, next day morning, he came to Sanatan Goswami and he said that I have sold my head at the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. How can I, you know, leave my worship of Ramachandra? It isn't possible. So both the brothers become very happy by seeing Anupam's Vallabha's devotion, pure devotion of love towards Lord Ramachandra, and they embraced each other. So, by this example, we can understand this is a standard of pure devotion to the Lord. It may be any incarnation, it is very high. He is saying that I have sold my head to the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra. This kind of bhakta who thinks that his own interest and the Lord's interest are identical. This kind of bhakta is known as akama bhakta. They are devotees, they are akama devotees, and there are other type of devotees who are known as sakama devotees. So both sakama and akama, both are considered as devotees. Who are the sakamas devotees? In Bhagavad Gita 7.16, it has been described. Chaturvida bhajante mam jnana sukritina arjuna arto jigyasur artharthi jnani cha bharatar shabha. So, devotion can be done in different mode of the nature. Like devotion can be done, devotional service can be done in the mode of ignorance. How those who perform devotional service with a mood of envy, proud, become violent and angry mood, and his interest differs from the Lord. This devotion is in the mode of ignorance. Then who perform devotional service, they think that they are the best devotees and they perform devotional service for fame, for opulence, for material enjoyment. And he thinks that Lord will fulfill, Lord should fulfill his all the desires. This kind of devotional service done in the mode of passion and in the mode of goodness. They want nothing from this material world, they want to be liberated. So all those are doing devotional service under these three modes. They are called Sakama Bhaktas. In Bhagavad Gita described that four types of bhakta, hmm, four types of person, they take shelter to the lotus feet of the Lord. one is Gani, uh, one is Sukriti Gani, one is Artho, one is Artharthi, one is Jikashu. Jnani, those who want up knowledge. Artho, those who are in distress. Artharthi, the want material opulences. And Jigyashu, who had some question in mind. Hmm, why I am suffering? Why this material world is created? These four kind of person take shelter to the lotus feet of the Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mathalila, 22.35 number verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that ভুক্তি মুক্তি সিদ্ধিকামী সুবুদ্ধি যদি হয় গাঢ় ভক্তি যোগে তবে কৃষ্ণের ভজয় তো ভক্তি those who are desirous for material enjoyment mukti those who want impersonal liberation and siddhi those who are attached to mystic yogi and siddhi kami bhukti mukti siddhi kami if they become really intelligent then with deep devotional service they can worship the lotus feet of Lord Krishna gara bhakti yoga tabe Krishna if they become intelligent. So from this we can see that any person can become a devotee of Krishna, whether he may be bhakti, whether he may be mukti, and whether may be siddhikami. Bhakti kami, mukti kami, siddhi kami. All can perform devotional service if they develop intelligence. But this kind of devotees are called Swakama Bhakta. So who can be a devotee of Krishna? Anyone can be a devotee of Krishna. There is one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's saying that Akamo Sarbo Kamo Ba Muksha Kama Udaradhi Tibrena Bhakti Jogena Jajate Purusham Param. Akamo Sarbo Kama. There will be many persons who do not desire so many material enjoyment. Their hearts are pure and they do not aspire for material enjoyment. Such person is called Akamo. So whether he may be Akamo, whether may be Sarvokamo, he want all sense enjoyment, or he may be Mokshakama, who desire liberation from the panges of this material existence. And they become very much bored and frustrated with all kinds of things happening in this material world. So they want liberation from it. Udarad. And a magnanimous person who has a great intelligence, whatever category he belongs to. The person is called magnanimous, who uses intelligence in whatever category. He may be Akamo, he may be Sarvokamo, he may be Mokshakamo. He can pursue the path of bhakti unto Krishna. So, they do not require any prerequisite qualifications to become a devotee of Krishna. Ah, the Bhakti Yoga, if they perform with great intensity, Tibrena Bhakti Yogena, by with great intensity, by performing this Bhakti Yoga, whom Purusham Param, unto the Param Purush, Lord Krishna, then he can come to the stage of pure devotional service. So, anyone who has desire, no desire, who has desire for liberation, is recommended to perform devotional service. You may have many material desires, many of the things you want, but the best is that whether you are Okama or you are Sarvokama, surrender into the lotus feet of Krishna. Now, Krishna will purify that person who has entered the realm of Bhakti Yoga. It is the responsibility to purify those hearts, the responsibility of Krishna to purify those persons and make them qualified to perform pure bhakti. So, anyone can, any background, uh, anyone from any background can start this devotional service. So, we have to begin from someone who has some faith in him. as God. Like Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Those who has this only this faith, he can approach or worship Krishna. Although the goal of bhakti is to render materially unmotivated, pure and constant service to Krishna for his pleasure. This is the ultimate goal. But we have to begin somewhere. Begin somewhere. Ah. So anyone from any background, he can perform this devotional service. So what is required? You require right goal. Our goal should be right. Yes, we have different motivations. We have different motive, different like in ISKCON. Many people join ISKCON with different motivations. Hmm. Sometimes some unemployed person join ISKCON to get two times food. Sometimes some person join ISKCON to go to abroad. Sometimes some people join ISKCON to marry the foreign matajis, foreign ladies. They have different intentions. Hmm. They have different intentions, but when they entered in Krishna conscious movement, they started practicing. All their motivations, wrong motivations, become purified by the mercy of Krishna. Then he becomes situated in the status of a devotee, a good devotee, and some of them become pure devotee. Eventually, step by step. But if you have wrong goal, but the right motive, suppose you want spiritual knowledge, you join any other institution that is not bona fide by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which do not teach you, we do not teach you unmotivated devotional service. Then your motive is right, but the goal is wrong. So it's very difficult to achieve the highest goal of bhakti. So what is the result uh, of approaching Krishna directly? So we have to whatever our position, we have to approach Krishna directly. Mm. Because Krishna is the only shelter. Whether you are Akama, whether you are Sarvakama. In the words of Srimad Bhagavatam 5.19.27 is saying that the result of approaching Krishna directly, what happens? If we approach Krishna directly with different intentions, different motives. So in this verse is saying that सत्यं दिशति अर्थितम् अर्थितो नृणम् नैवार्थदा जत्पुरनर्थिताच्युत स्वयं विदत्ते भजतामनिच्छता मिच्छापिधानं निजपादपल्लवम्. So what happens in this verse? The meaning is that the verse is saying that a devotee who comes to take shelter to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna with different material motivations, Krishna fulfill that intention, his that aspiration. But if after fulfillment of his aspiration, he started again and again, punah punah, hmm, that that instant intention, that wishes to fulfilled. Hmm. If you had that material desire to be fulfilled again and again, Krishna does not fulfill that. Hmm. Krishna does not fulfill that. But the person who is a devotee who took shelter to the lotus feet of Krishna, but he does not desire the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna gives shelter to that devotee, his lotus feet, under his lotus feet. And he fulfill all the desire of Krishna. And this is the greatest mercy of Krishna. So what happens? If you have material desire, okay, you approach Krishna, you take shelter of Krishna, Krishna fulfill your material desire. But if Krishna found that you were desiring for material sense enjoyment, you want to fulfill your desire again and again, Krishna does not fulfill that. But a devotee who does not desire Krishna's lotus feet, but take shelter to Krishna's lotus feet. So Krishna, even if he does not want that, he does not desire for that, he does not tell Krishna about that, Krishna fulfill his desires. It is Krishna's greatest mercy. So this is the result of approaching Krishna directly. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Prabhu is saying, অন্য কামি যদি করে কৃষ্ণের ভজন না মাগিতে হোক কৃষ্ণ তারে দেন স্বাচরণ. Annokami means those who desire for material enjoyment or merging into the existence of the absolute truth. Annokami want material enjoyment and want impersonal liberation. If that kind of person perform Krishna's bhakti, he worship Krishna's lotus feet, even if he does not want Krishna, you know, give him his mercy. His keep him under the shelter of his lotus feet. That is Krishna's mercy. Krishna taradan swacharan na mangitehi. Even if he does not desire or he does not want it, he does not ask for it. Also in 22.41, Chaitanya Prabhu is saying, Kama lagi Krishna bhaje, paye Krishna rasa, Kama chhari dasha hoite, hoy abhilasha. If you have calm, that means you have many material desires, and you started worshipping Krishna's lotus feet, you started worshipping Krishna, and he will start getting the Krishna rasa, the sweet nectar of Krishna's devotional service. Kama chhari dasha hoite hoy abhilasha. Then eventually, gradually, he becomes free from those material desires. He further do not seek for material enjoyment, and he become Krishna's das. And he, after that, what happens? He become desirous to become Krishna's das. Kama chhari dasa hoite abhilasha. Abhilas means he desire. He expressed his desire. That Lord, I'll be your servant. I was so fool that was searching for all this material enjoyment, impersonal liberations. So this is the result of approaching Krishna directly. Mm. It's a very important verse. And Lord's also promised that in Chaitanya Charitamrita 22.38, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also Lord himself, he is promising. কৃষ্ণ কহে আমা ভজে মাঙ্গে বিষয়ে সুখ অমৃত ছাড়ি বিষ মাঙ্গে এই বড় মূর্খ. He said that those who worship me, those who worship my lotus feet, those who have taken shelter of my lotus feet, even after that, if he wants Vishay Sukha, Vishay means material objects, even he wants the material sense enjoyment, even after taking shelter under my lotus feet, Amrita Chari Vishama, it is like getting nectar, but you are not taking the nectar, you want poison. এই বড় মূর্খ, this person is very foolish. আমি বিজ্ঞ এই মূর্খে বিষয় কেন দিবা স্বচরণামৃত দিয়া বিষয় ভুলিবা. So Krishna is promising that those who worship me, even if he is murkha, even if he murkha, even if he desires for vishay sukha, material sense enjoyment, but why should I give him? Why should I give him that? Because he is taken shelter of my lotus feet. So I will not give that. Swacharanamrita diya. I will give my own charanamrita. Vishaya bhuliba. I will destroy. I will destroy all his material desires from his heart. Swacharanamrita diya. Vishaya bhuliba. I will make him forget all this material sense gratification. So it is Lord's proclamation that don't worry, it is my responsibility to make your heart purified from all material propensities. It's my responsibility, and ultimately, the Lord will help those devotees to state to come to the position of pure devotional service. So we understand that we have to start from a beginning, and gradually, step by step, we will come to that platform. But what is the process? How it is possible? the potency of devotional service will manifest by the process of worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord in the association of devotees. So, in the words of Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25, Lord Kapila Muni ah, is describing the importance or power of devotees association and hearing Krishna Katha in the devotees association. Shatam prasangan mama birja sambido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha तज्जोषना दाशो अपवर्ग वर्तमानी श्रद्धारतिर भक्तिर अनुक्रमिष्यति शताम प्रसन्न मम बीज संवित. If one attentively hear the transcendental pastime of Lord Krishna, mama birja sambhito, mama means mind, who's Krishna's, birja sambhito, the sweet nectarian pastimes of Krishna, Satam Prasad Kant, in the association of devotees. So, in the association of devotees, uh, the association of devotees is a glorious opportunity to hear Krishna Katha. Then what happens? Such a process will become the greatest source of joy and satisfaction in the heart and in the ears of the devotees. So that Krishna Katha in the association of devotees will give great joy and satisfaction to the ear and to the heart. Tajoshanad Ashu Apavarga Vartamani, and gradually the path of liberation will become open to the devotees. If he, if that devotee, you know, if that devotee engages in the glorious process of hearing Krishna Katha, the path of the road to Golok Vrindavana will open gradually. Shraddha Bhakti Ratir Anukramishati. Anukramishati means step by step. What will happen? Shraddha, Shraddha, Ratir. Ratir. Shraddha means he will easily achieve faith to the protection of Krishna. Shraddha Ratir, attraction towards, he will attain attraction towards Krishna. And Bhaktir, have love and emotion for Krishna. The Shraddha means if in the association of devotees a person hear Krishna Katha, then his heart and ear will become joyous and satisfied completely, and the path traversing to the spiritual world will gradually open, and step by step he will develop faith, attraction towards Krishna, and love and emotion for Krishna. So it is the glory of association of devotees, and is most glorious if we hear Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. So this is the process to approach Krishna from Shraddha to Prem. Ah, the devotion, there are levels of bhakti from Adau Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivritti, then Nishtha, then Ruchi, then Bhav, Mahabhav, Prem. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained the bhakti through these stages, and it is possible how? By the association of devotees. So, as we discussed before that, there are different devotees, Sakama Bhakta, who approaches Krishna. So, what happens? The devotees who are busy with fruitive activities, so by performing those fruitive activities, they become materially very much distressed because fruitive activities has some failures and some success. Success is very less and maximum is failure. Then he become very much distress. And then they associate with the pure devotees and becomes pure devotee. Those who others are simply frustrated uh, by what is happening in this material world. They become bored. They become inquisitive. Why I'm suffering? Why so many people are suffering? So he become inquisitive. So you want answer? So where you will get the answer? In the association of devotees. And in the association of devotees, by performing devotional service, by hearing Krishna Katha, in the association of devotees, by hearing Krishna Katha, ultimately he becomes a pure devotee. And dry philosophers who do mental speculation and they ultimately become frustrated in every field of knowledge. And ultimately they want to learn God and they approach and render devotional service and they relish the transcendental pleasure which is much more than Brahmananda and impersonal liberation. And they approach Krishna by the grace of pure devotees and ultimately they become pure devotees. So this is the process of approaching Krishna. Only the association of devotees, give us pure devotion. There are many shastric examples. Like we'll discuss more how you have a wrong motive, but the goal is right. How with different motivations, different devotees have started practicing this devotional service and attend pure devotional service. So we will discuss the story of Dhruva Maharaj. So what happens? Dhruva Maharaj is the son of Uttanapad. Uttanapad is the son of Manu, and Manu is the son of Brahma. So one day Uttanapad was sitting in his throne with his son Uttama. So Uttanapad has two wives. One is Suruchi, one is Suniti. So Suruchi was most dear to Uttanapad, and Suniti was not so much dear. So she was treated. So she was treated like maid servant, and Dhruva was the son of Suniti. So one day, what happened? Dhruva desired to sit on the lap of Uttanapada in the throne. His stepmother Suruchi forbade him to do that. He said that you have not taken birth from my womb, you do not deserve to sit on your father's lap. So after hearing this, Dhruva became very angry by seeing that his father did not protest. His father remained silent. So Dhruva became very much angry. Though Uttanapada though Uttanapada had affection for both the sons, Uttama and Dhruva, but he cannot cut the word of the Suruchi, the dear wife of Uttanapad. Then Dhruva Maharaj became very much afflicted with anger and he started crying and he went to his mother, Suniti, and he told his mother, my dear mother, I want to sit on the lap of my father. What can I do? So his mother, Suniti, guided him. That you see, only if you take shelter to the lotus feet of Lord, if you worship the lotus feet of Lord, your desire will fulfill. Because in previous times, your grandfather Manu has enjoyed material happiness only after taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, only by worshipping the Lord's lotus feet. And your great grandfather Brahma acquired qualification to create this entire universe only by worshipping the lotus feet of Krishna. So, if you only take shelter to the lotus feet of Krishna, lotus feet of the Lord, then you can fulfill all your desire. Then Dhruva Maharaj asks Suniti, where can I find this supreme personality of Godhead? Suniti said that people say he remains in forest. So you go to the forest, you can find him. So as Lord is present as Paramatma in Dhruva Maharaja's heart, Lord could understand Dhruva Maharaj's intention. So he sent Narada Muni to show him the right path. So when Dhruva Maharaj was going to the path of forest, Narad Muni came in front of him. So Narad Muni came to initiate Dhruva Maharaj uh, in devotional service. But at first, he tasted Dhruva Maharaj's intention. So what Narad Muni spoke to Dhruva, he spoke to Dhruva that, Dhruva, my dear Dhruva, you don't be affected with honor and dishonor. All this dissatisfaction comes from our own karma. An intelligent person remains satisfied with whatever comes to his own accord. It is very difficult to satisfy the Lord, even if the great yogic, great mystic yogis have not successful to satisfy the Lord. Therefore, you should give up this endeavor and go to your home. When you will become grown up, you can try, you know, you can attempt for this. But Dhruva said, my dear Lord, I am a Kshatriya. My temperament is of Kshatriya. So I cannot take your advice. Ah, I want the most exalted position in this three world, one which has not been achieved by my grandfather and also my great grandfather. This was Dhruva Maharaj intention, motivation to achieve the highest position in this three world, which has not been achieved by anyone else. You can fulfill my desire. So Narad Muni became very much satisfied with Dhruva Maharaj's intention. So he initiated Dhruva Maharaj and advised Dhruva Maharaj to practice Ashtanga Yoga. Where? To the forest of Vrindavan Madhuban by taking birth in the Yamuna river. And Dhruva Maharaj started this austerity, this Ashtanga Yoga. His process of yoga, his performance of austerity was so severe that first 3 days he used to eat kapita fruits, and berries once in 3 days. Then dry grasses and leaves once in 6 days. Then water once in 9 days. And air once in 12 days. And by the fifth month, he stopped breathing. And by the by the power of his austerity, the whole three world started trembling. All the inhabitants become suffocating, and by the power of his, by the pressure of his toe, the earth is going downwards, and all the demigods seeing this situation, this terrible condition, they are all suffocated, they can't breathe. They went to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu gave them consolation that don't worry, he's my great devotee, so I will soon go to him and satisfy all his desires. Then Lord Vishnu went to Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj, in his heart, he can see the four-handed forms of wonderful form of Lord Vishnu, who appeared as the incarnation of Prishni Garbha with his carrier Garuda. Dhruva Maharaj saw Lord Vishnu's form within his heart for a fraction of a second, and that form goes away. And Dhruva Maharaj became desperate to see Lord Vishnu again, open his eyes, and he found Lord Vishnu's form in front of him. So beautiful form. While seeing the Lord Vishnu's beautiful form, Dhruva Maharaj could not speak anything. So beautiful form of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu immediately touched the forehead of Dhruva Maharaj with his conch shell, which is Vedas personified itself, and all Vedic knowledge, appears in the heart of Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj started glorifying Lord Vishnu, and he started praying to Lord Vishnu, and he prayed to Lord Vishnu that he want the association of devotees. He glorified the bhakti and the association of devotees. And he said that desires that I want the association of devotees, because association of devotees, gives detachment, and it is more pleasurable than Brahmananda and heavenly pleasure. Then Dhruva Maharaj glorified the Lord, and Lord becomes satisfied with Dhruva Maharaj and give benediction to him. The Dhruva, you will rule this earthly planet with dharma for 36,000 years after the retirement of your father. And after the rule, you will go back to a abode that I am giving you. That abode I am creating for you is known as Dhruvaloka. And you will go back to this Dhruvaloka planet after the completion of your rule. This Dhruvaloka is very, the, what is this Dhruvaloka is? This Dhruvaloka is the abode of Vishnu in this material world. There is Setodipa, and Lord Vishnu resides there. And this Dhruvaloka is equal to Vaikuntha Lokas. That means even after the dissolution, annihilation, this Dhruvaloka remains eternally. Like all Vaikuntha Lokas, it is beyond the universe. Mm. And Lord Vishnu went back to his Vaikuntha. After that, Lord Vishnu disappeared. Dhruva Maharaja went home, and coronation done as a king. But inside heart, Dhruva Maharaja was not happy, was not satisfied. He was lamenting that what I have done, I am a foolish number one. Because I desired sense gratification, I desired perishable things. Although attaining the lotus feet of the Lord, I am so unfortunate. Mm. The lotus feet of the Lord can destroy the material existence. And I was in bodily conscious. I prayed for useless things. I wanted material prosperity. I was like a foolish poor man who asked for only a few grains of broken rice from an emperor. In Hari Bhakti Shubhodaya, it said that Dhruva Maharaj is saying, I was searching for the pieces of broken glass. I was searching for the pieces of broken glass. But I got valuable jewel. So from this example, we can see that uh, Dhruva Maharaj initially had some material desire to get the position within this three world, which has been never attained by anyone. This is material motives. When Lord appears and Lord purify Dhruva Maharaj's heart with Vedic knowledge by touching his counsel to the head of Dhruva Maharaj, so Dhruva Maharaj's desires become fulfilled, and he become a pure devotee of the Lord. And after some time, after his retirement, the Vaikuntha plane arrived to take Dhruva Maharaj to Dhruvaloka. Even today, we can see this Dhruvaloka, pole star. Hmm. So this is the live example how devotional service is purifying to any motivation, any motives, any devotee's motivation. That means many persons having different desires, aspirations, motivations. But somehow or other, we have to engage in the devotional service. Then our desire will get purified gradually. Like the example of four Kumaras, they are the son of Brahma, Shanak, Sanatan, Shananda, Sanat Kumar. When Brahma created them, Brahma instructed them to create progeny, but they refused. They do not become entangled in this material existence, in this material world's distresses. So they asked for benediction to Brahma that may we not grow old. And they were great personalities, they have great knowledges, but they were impersonalist initially. But when they went to visit Lord Vishnu in the Vaikuntha, so see, they have so much power. They can go to Vaikuntha Loka directly. They can visit Lord Vishnu. But Jai Vijay, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, they stopped them to see Lord Vishnu. And there is a verbal tug of war between them. And Kumaras cursed Jai Vijay that you are not suitable to stay in this Vaikuntha planet, go to the Arti planet. In the meantime, when Lord Vishnu can hear that some verbal tussle of war is happening at my doorstep, he rushed to the door. And when Vishnu arrived, the aroma of tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu comes to the nose of these four Kumaras, and it purifies the heart of the Kumaras. And these four Kumaras started glorifying Lord Vishnu's beauty and form, and they understand their mistake, uh, and they beg forgiveness from Vishnu about their behavior, and ultimately they become personalist. From impersonalist, they become personalist by seeing the form of Lord Vishnu, by taking the aroma of Lord Vishnu's lotus feet. This is also devotional service. Anything which is related to Lord Krishna, which is favorable for our reviving the relationship of Krishna, relationship, reviving our relationship with Krishna is devotional service. But and these four Kumaras, from impersonalist, they become personalist. Gajendra, one of the great example. Gajendra, while taking birth with all his companions, with his wives in the lake, a crocodile came and bite to his leg. And the crocodile hold the elephant's leg tightly. And the elephant and this Gajendra uh, cannot, get rid of this crocodile. And crocodile is the living entity of water, and Gajendra was a creature of land. So crocodile is more powerful in water than elephant. So by seeing the distressing condition of his future, Gajendra become very afraid of losing his life. So what he will do? He become very much afraid. So Gajendra become very much afraid of being killed. And when he saw that he had no power to defend himself, and that none of his friend, relatives or wives could help him, he thought for a long time and finally decided that it is by the will of providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile, and therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always shelter of everyone, even of great personalities. Seeing the imminent danger, Gajendra decided that no one else except Supreme Personality of Godhead can save me. And this thinking is a devotional service. Thinking is a bhakti that he took shelter to the lotus feet of Krishna. And with great difficulty, with great pain, he plucked one lotus feet with his trunk and he started praying for Lord Vishnu with his mouth. Then Lord Vishnu immediately with his carrier Garuda came to the spot and accepted the prayers of Gajendra and killed this crocodile with his disc. চক্রনাশী নক্রপেশী উদ্ধারিল আপনা. The Chakrapeshi Nakranashi, killing the crocodile with his disc, Lord Vishnu relieved Gajendra. So, and Gajendra understand the potency of devotional service and he took shelter to the Supreme Lord. This is one of the example. That though Gajendra has no motivations or no desire for Krishna's bhakti or Vishnu's bhakti devotional service initially, but when he become very much distressed by this condition, he takes shelter to Vishnu. King Prachinabadhi, when King Prachinabadhi sent his sons Prochetas for tapasya, because it is a custom for Kshatriyas to send their son for tapasya to Gurukul so that they can become a good king. Then immediately Narada Muni become compassionate towards this king Prachinabadhi because Prachinabadhi has a great lineage and he is wasting his life in material sense gratification. So Narada Muni took this opportunity and come to King Prachinabadhi and he elaborately described, made him hear the story of King Puranjana. How King Puranjana, being captivated by his wife, is wasting his life and has become so much materially afflicted. So, after hearing the story of King Puranjana from Narada Muni, King Prachinavari could realize, oh, Narada Muni is speaking about me. I am that person. And within the heart of King Prachinavari, the devotion, you know, arise. The devotion for Lord Vishnu, devotion for Krishna, the devotional service awaken by the compassion of Narada Muni, by hearing from Narada Muni's words. Hearing also a devotional service. Right now? So initially they do not have intentions to become a pure devotee. They do not they did not thought that they will become a pure devotee, but somehow or other they started devotional service. Some by taking shelter directly, some by the association of devotees, by hearing from the devotees, by accepting Guru. mm, they ultimately come to the pure state of devotional service. These are many examples as given in our Shastra. And for the practicing sadhakas, so initially we all have some inherent material desires. It is okay. But ultimately, with practicing bhakti, we have to constantly hear Krishna Katha, we have to remain in the association of the devotees. And what will happen? And what will happen in the association of devotees? We can get rid of our material desires in the association of devotees. And if we follow sincerely devotional service, we can go back to Godhead. If our material desires are not removed, then even if we follow devotional service sincerely, it will take long time. It will cause delay to our going back to Godhead. So the purpose of devotional service to get rid of our material desires. It will come by practicing sincere devotional service in the association of devotees. By hearing Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, we can get rid of them very easily. So it is the purifying potency of the devotional service. So, in conclusion, what we can conclude in respect to our society, this Krishna conscious society is meant for all kinds of persons, not simply those who only want Krishna in the beginning. This Krishna conscious society is open to persons of all kind of desires, whether they just want Krishna or not, is open to all of them. Because in the association of devotees, they will gradually become purified and their desires become purified. So our doors are open to persons of all kind of motivations. We are confident that the bhakti process will still those motivations. And indeed, Krishna is expert after fulfilling material desires of devotees in such a way that they will never ask for those things again and again. Krishna is very intelligent. So Krishna will fulfill our material desire in such a way that he will not ask them again and again, because by performing devotional service the heart will become purified. They only think of Krishna, their interest will become similar with Krishna's interest, will become their interest will become identical with Krishna's interest. Hmm. And they will they will be situated in the pure devotional service. And all the devotees of this Krishna conscious movement, our goal is to become a pure devotee. Mm, is to become a pure devotee of Krishna. And our founder Acharya Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada has made the society for all those people, whether they are kami or sarvakami. Jano tano prokarena, we have to take shelter, we have to fix our mind to Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So we'll finish our discussion today. So if you have any questions, we can take. Hare Krishna.